Another WWE superstar has been taken out just moments before a major WrestleMania 41 match, and no one knows who did it. The scene was chaotic, the emotions off the charts, and once again, WWE fans are left piecing together a whodunit mystery that feels like something out of a thriller. But as we dig into this new backstage attack on Bayley, one thing becomes immediately clear: the list of suspects is long, the motives are messy, and the deeper we go, the more it feels like everyone's hiding something. This wasn't just a random sneak attack, this was calculated. So let's break it all down, because someone in WWE isn't telling the truth, and we're about to find out who. It all kicked off before WrestleMania 41 even officially began. During the kickoff segment, cameras cut backstage to absolute chaos. Bayley was found hurt, laid out on the floor, clearly in pain. She wasn't just down, she looked completely blindsided, like she never saw it coming. The first people on the scene were Lyra Valkyria, Adam Pearce, and a few WWE crew members. Right behind them, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who just so happened to be walking in, with their luggage in hand. Convenient, right? Almost too convenient. Adam Pearce didn't hesitate, he immediately accused Liv and Raquel of being the culprits. And sure, they laughed it off, acted shocked, denied everything. But if this feels familiar, that's because it is. Let's rewind for a second. This is exactly what happened with Jade Cargill a few months ago. Liv and Raquel were painted as the villains then too. Everyone was sure they attacked Jade, until it turned out they didn't. They were framed, set up, falsely accused. So now they're pulling the same card again: we didn't do it, we just got here. They claim they barely walked into the building when Bayley was already down. But the problem is, this time, they actually have a motive. Because if Bayley is out of the picture, it changes everything. Liv and Raquel don't have to face her. They either get a 2-on-1 match against Lyra, or a forfeit win altogether. That's a clean path to defending their titles without lifting a finger. So yeah, maybe they didn't do it. Or maybe they learned from the Jade situation. Maybe this time, they planned it better, played it smarter, covered their tracks. The victim card works beautifully if you've already used it once and got away clean. Are Liv and Raquel playing that role again? Or is it possible they're finally guilty? Either way, they stay at the top of our suspect list for a reason. But then there's Naomi. Some fans threw her name into the conversation as a joke at first, but let's be honest, she did pull off a surprise attack on Jade Cargill, so it's not entirely crazy to wonder if she'd strike again. The problem? Naomi has no motive here. Bayley isn't her enemy. In fact, they're longtime friends. If anything, Naomi would be the one watching Bayley's back. So while she's got the history, we're scratching her off the list this time around. Naomi's innocent, probably. Now here's where things start getting wild, because Bayley might not be as innocent as we all thought. Let's go back to the original attack on Jade Cargill. Remember that weird moment when Bayley randomly ran out from between two production trucks just as Jade was being loaded into an ambulance? That wasn't just a throwaway shot. That was suspicious. At the time, people asked whether Bayley helped Naomi pull off the attack. Maybe not physically, but what if she played a role in distracting officials, or stalling help? If that theory holds weight, then this current attack on Bayley might not be random at all. It could be karma, payback, a receipt for something she did behind the scenes that's finally coming back to haunt her. And speaking of old feuds resurfacing, Roxanne Perez's name just popped back up in a big way. Fans haven't forgotten that Roxanne and Bayley had a mini feud not long ago. A few backstage run-ins, some promo shade. It was simmering, and then it vanished. WWE quietly dropped it. But what if this attack is how Roxanne reignites that story? She's been floating between NXT and the main roster, and what better way to make a splash than by targeting a veteran like Bayley? The attack gets her back on TV, back in the spotlight, and instantly relevant. It's sneaky, it's smart, and it's very Roxanne. But now, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the bombshell, because the biggest name being floated around right now isn't Liv. It's not Naomi, not even Roxanne, it's Becky Lynch. And that's when things really start getting dark. Becky Lynch is Bayley's friend, one of her closest. They're both part of WWE's legendary Four Horsewomen. They've stood side by side in wars, tag matches, press events, interviews, you name it. If Bayley was going to trust anyone, it'd be Becky. And that's exactly why she wouldn't see the attack coming. That's why Becky makes so much sense. Because this wasn't a random beatdown. This was personal, precise. Becky Lynch was confirmed to be backstage at WrestleMania 41. She even posted clips cheering Seth Rollins during his main event match, so we know she was in the building. But what was she doing before that? And why has she been absent from WWE for nearly a year, only to return the same night her best friend gets taken out? The rumors make it even more interesting. Reports have been swirling for months that Becky's returning with an entirely new persona. A complete rebrand. Say goodbye to the man. Say goodbye to big-time Bex. This is a whole new Becky. One who might be darker, colder, more selfish. And if you're going to relaunch a new character, what better way than by doing something shocking, like turning on your best friend in the most brutal way possible? The plot thickens even more when you bring Lyra into the mix, because Becky and Lyra are very close in real life. If there's anyone Becky would scheme with behind the scenes, it'd be Lyra. So let's do the math. Becky's been gone. Lyra just got her big WrestleMania moment. Bayley was standing in the way. Becky reappears right before Bayley gets attacked. Lyra finds Bayley hurt and slides into the match. Tell me that's not suspicious. And it gets worse, because this storyline mirrors the Bianca-Naomi-Jade triangle almost too perfectly. Naomi takes out Jade. Bianca steps in. Naomi's loyalty gets questioned. WWE fans start seeing a pattern here. But is it a lazy rehash of an old angle, or is this WWE building something much bigger, like a series of backstage attacks, each connected, each more personal than the last? If Becky and Lyra did pull this off together, it would be one of the most layered, long-term heel turns we've seen in years. And just when you think this can't get deeper, let's talk about Seth Rollins, Becky's husband. He just turned heel at WrestleMania and aligned with Paul Heyman. That's massive. And WWE loves symmetry when it comes to real-life couples. If Seth's going dark, it's very possible Becky's going right with him. A full-on power couple heel turn. Imagine that, Seth destroying Cody, Becky taking out Bayley, both of them rebuilding themselves as villains in a new WWE era. Some fans say it's too soon to do another mystery attack story, too similar to Jade's arc. But let's be real, WWE knows what they're doing. These kinds of stories hook fans. They get Reddit buzzing. They get fans arguing over theories and motives. Everyone loves a mystery. Everyone loves a reveal. And this Bayley storyline? It's got all the ingredients to keep us glued to our screens for weeks. Now the only question is, how long are they going to drag it out? Will this be another slow burn like Jade's mystery attacker? A months-long trail of breadcrumbs until the reveal? Or are we getting answers faster this time? Either way, this storyline is heating up and the list of suspects isn't getting any shorter. So what do you think? Was this just bad luck for Bayley? Or was it a perfectly timed inside job involving one of her closest friends? Was it Liv and Raquel striking again? Was it Roxanne trying to make a name for herself? Or was it Becky Lynch launching a new era by stabbing her sister in the back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're hooked on the mystery. And don't forget to subscribe with all notifications turned on, because the truth is coming, and you won't want to miss it.